Today we're sitting down with Lollypopbeatz and she's about to give you the blueprint to her success. She's produced songs for YBN and Amir, Herbo, MAFTski, and more. By the end of this video, if you stick around, you'll have a deeper insight into the music industry. So watch the whole video, you must. So first question, do you have a musical background?
Well, my dad was an engineer, but I didn't understand that or even realize until a few years ago. And he played guitar, but he hasn't for so long because his guitar got stolen in our old house and he never started again. My mum never had any music background, and I just learned piano when I was like 6, but nothing crazy. Just I passed grade 1 and that was it. And then I wanted to teach myself because I just didn't like the songs that the teachers wanted to, you know, get me to learn. So that was it really. So knowing the notes kind of helped me with beats, but apart from that, I didn't know any music theory basically.
Was there a specific moment or beat that made you realize like, okay, I could really do this as a serious career?
I can't remember the beat, but I just really wanted to lock in at the start of 2020. It was just before COVID, I'm pretty sure, like January 2020. I was posting my beats on Instagram like every day and people were just saying, oh, this is fire. It was at the time where everyone was doing like for like, follow for follow, and it was just fake support. And someone said, oh, your beats aren't that great. Like, I think it was a beat critique. And that was the first time that I'd heard, oh, maybe I'm not good. Because, you know, when you start getting better at beats and you can actually make a full beat and then you think you're good, but you don't have a good ear for it early on. So when I heard the truth, I just really wanted to lock in and improve. So I think because of COVID as well, I had nothing else better to do. I didn't have a job. I literally worked in a grocery store for a few months before that. And all my friends were at university. So thought, okay, let me go all in.
What was your setup like when you first started?
I had just a laptop. I think I had the laptop for about 8 years at that point, and it was terrible, but it doesn't matter just as long as FL opens.
Yeah.
And I don't know what brand of headphones they were, but it was ones that my mum or dad had just lying around. They were so bad. And that was it. No speakers, no interface, nothing. And at one point the laptop was so old that it only could connect to Wi-Fi in one certain part of my room. So sometimes I moved my table in my doorway and I'd have to make beats there.
That's
and then the
crazy.
laptop screen went all red. So I've got a picture of it. Like, I could send it to you if you want to put it in.
I'll put it in the video.
I literally could not see the screen, but I made it work. I made beats on that for at least 6 months with it like that.
Wow.
It was awful. I had to like move it and it would stop being weird for a second and then it would go back. But
That's crazy.
I made it work. So I clearly, it didn't matter what I was on. You know, you don't need crazy equipment.
At what point did you feel ready to go full time on music?
As I said, it was like start of 2020 because it was COVID. Nothing else better to do. I wasn't making any money, so you can't really call that full time, but I was like, this is going to be my main focus.
Yeah.
But where it was like, okay, this is actually a job now, was probably 2021 when my type beat started to finally do well. And I was seeing a bit of money. So that was the point where I thought, okay, this isn't just going to be a hobby anymore, but you're never quite sure because some months were good with sales, some months were not so good. From 2021, it was actually quite consistent. I was just always a bit scared because it's a big risk going full in. I didn't have a job on the side. I've never really experienced having a job and also trying to pursue the beats on the side. So I was just, all in.
How long were you making beats before you seen any money from it?
My first sale was April 2021, so I'd been wanting to like lock in since January 2020, so basically a year and a few months.
Okay.
And then I didn't get any more sales. It was like one a month kind of, but really like when the sales started was start of 2022.
Did you ever think about quitting?
Hell yeah. Even now. No, I'm too locked in. I'm too far gone. You know when you overthink and you're just like, oh, something good will happen. I'm like, okay.
Every time.
Yeah, you get so lost in it. And when you look back at the progress and just, you know, I've not come this far for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, why would you stop when even it could be years of like no money? I don't really view it like that because I still feel like it's a hobby. I still feel like it's 2020 and I've just started and I forget all the journey up until now. But yeah, I overthink all the time and I'm still very much like trying to get out my shell because I was super shy. I hid for a long time. I didn't show myself, you know, people forget that. I was like an anonymous producer for ages. So overcoming different things and just getting out in the studio, meeting people, networking in person. Sometimes I still feel like it's draining and it's like tiring and it's a big thing. So sometimes I really have to psych myself up because you could so easily isolate yourself. You know, I'm just in my bedroom most of the time, and I'm lucky that social media is a thing. I'm sure lots of people can relate, and you don't actually need to get out there, but it definitely helps. So just balancing everything and thinking, is this going to be like, how many more years have I got of this? Or it's so unpredictable that it's constantly like, it's scary. But it's so rewarding, and I'm way too far gone to quit.
I'm assuming that you're watching this video because you want to get placements or you want to work in the music industry somehow. Well. If you ever heard of Discord, I'm sure you know that's a really good place to network with producers, even big producers, even get placements. Yes, people have gotten placements through Discord. Anyway, the point is, I came across this Discord server back in 2022 called Producers Next Up. Basically, it's a server that you can send your loops directly to major producers. For example, if you go through the producers A through O section, you can see there's a bunch of channels here with a bunch of different producers. These are all Billboard charting, platinum, even some Grammy winning producers that you can send your loops directly to. There's an opportunities channel where all the opportunities get repinged, and these are some of the recent opportunities. Zame needs stuff for Drake, Party Next Door. Tom needs starters for Future. Vanish needs stuff for Tekka, Dawn, Nardo Wick, Moneyman. Odyssey needs stuff for Drake. DW needs stuff for Moneyman. There's so many opportunities all the time. For the opportunities, it is a subscription service, but there's also free events. For example, there was one with Busy Works Beats, another one with Killshot. Killshot is Kodak's engineer. They work very closely. He's worked with a lot of people, and it's free. You can just join the Discord and ask questions directly with huge producers, huge audio engineers. On top of that, there's weekly community cookups. So if you want to work with me, I'm gonna be in here cooking up. You can send me loops and we can collab on some beats. I'm gonna leave the link for the Discord in the description. What keeps you motivated whenever you feel like quitting?
I just am obsessed with progress, and I like to be the best at something. I'm really determined. So if I, for example, start a puzzle, I have to finish it. Like, I'm really determined to see it through. It just feels freeing to me that there's no limit with making beats and what you can do. So it's not like, oh, I'm not motivated anymore because I've reached like the peak, or this is the end, this is, you know, the maximum that's going to get. I'm like, how far can I push this? You know, where's it going to take me? There's so many new things that you can do all the time. So I find that just really satisfying. Even I'm looking at like my YouTube plaque and I'm like, how the hell do I have that? How have I casually got it in front of me? I manifested it for so long. Like, it sounds weird, but I manifested like hugging it whenever I would get it. And I like to manifest things or just visualize what I want to achieve. But most of the time I don't know what I want to achieve. Yeah, it's not the plaques, it's not the money that motivates me. It's honestly just, it's gonna sound cringe, but like the journey and how far can this go? There's so much more to do.
When did things start to change for you career-wise?
The selling beats, I'd say 2021, I was posting Chief Youth type beats and that was all I was doing. So when that started to do well, finally, because it'd been a good, you know, while that I was just seeing no growth from that, takes off and you start getting sales and actually get money from something you've worked so hard for, that I was like over the moon. And then it was really, again, like another boost after I started showing myself and posting on TikTok. So I started with TikTok before I posted any content on YouTube or anything. So it was 2023 around September that I like fully started locking in with TikTok and doing well, and just seeing the response to me being a producer. It was crazy, like what people had to say. So that was another new thing. And then when I started the content on YouTube, completely new audience, like growing this fan base and actual real supporters, because TikTok's cool, but it's nothing compared to YouTube. Because YouTube is, you really have to grind and put in all the effort with, you know, the long form videos. It was kind of different, getting success with just purely off of beats, and then off of content and people actually liking you for you and wanting to see your journey and supporting you. So yeah, the content for sure was way bigger of a deal and made way more impact.
Yeah.
But still, I can never get over that feeling of like doing well with it with a type beat channel. It's the nicest feeling.
Yeah. What was your first big placement or breakthrough moment?
My first major label placement was YBN Namir, but he wasn't popping, you know, like how he was back in the day. I'd say I haven't had a major placement yet, but what felt like my favorite release was when G Herbo was a feature on one of my beats with MAFT Ski. So that was the moment that I felt, probably the only moment I felt where I've heard an artist on my beat and like just gone crazy. And you know, that pure excitement, hearing the snippet for the first time. Like, his producer, shout out Honcho, he FaceTimed me and said, listen to this. And I just started crying. Because I love G Herbo, and yeah, that's probably, out of what I can remember, that's the only time a placement has really been like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm still waiting for that other moment.
Yeah, the huge song.
Yeah.
How did that opportunity come together?
Oh, he just found my beats on YouTube.
Off of YouTube.
You forget so many artists are still, doesn't matter how big they are, they still search up type beats. And Chief Keef, I'm kind of glad I stuck with that niche, because I feel like his sound will never die or go, like, he'll always be relevant. There's always people searching up Chief Keef type beat. And I think it's come back around. Like, if you class like the glow beats and all that, it's still there. So yeah, he just DM'd me randomly on Instagram, said I've recorded off like 10 of your beats, and then 2 were actually released. I only heard a snippet of the 2 that were released, and at the time that was really cool, because, you know, again, I was still anonymous, and I had a few people slowly hit me up, like bigger people, from finding me on YouTube, type beats.
100%. I didn't mean like all the way down. I just mean like, what's your favorite songs that you've worked on and why?
The one that I know all the lyrics to, and the one that meant the most to me, was it's called Drench Gang, MAFT Ski featuring G Herbo. And then also my biggest song is called I Like It, also by MAFT Ski. And yeah, that slowly got bigger and bigger. I didn't really realize the song was blowing up, but I really liked that beat, and I remember vividly. I love it when you can remember making a beat and then it's placed and it feels even more special. I just hit 10,000 subscribers and I'd made that beat. I named it 10K. Yeah, so that's a nice feeling of it being more than just, oh, like, I don't remember that beat.
That's fire. So that beat was your 10,000 subscriber beat?
Yeah.
That's fire.
I posted it on YouTube. I either sent it to him or he got it off my YouTube, because he was kind of up and coming when he was using my beats from YouTube, and I reached out to him, didn't realize that he was already using my beats from YouTube. So we kind of came up together, which is nice. It's kind of like my artist. You know, everyone wants to find that artist. We're not super locked in, because obviously he lives halfway across across the world from me in the US, but that's like a nice feeling of just finding that artist that you kind of just lock in with. Yeah. Even if it's virtual.
How did you first start working with bigger producers?
I remember mostly hitting up artists on Instagram, like I was going crazy with the DMs. Not so much producers. I probably did, but you know, everyone sends the same DM, like, yo, I've got loops or whatever, let's work. So my Instagram was as an anonymous producer that was just posting their Chief Keef type beats on Instagram every day. I did that every day for like 2.5 years, same as YouTube. You know, no one wanted to work with me, because I was just anonymous and like, what's in it for them? When my type beat channel like started to do better, people were hitting me up. Especially when I started the content, I kind of didn't really need to do that outreach anymore, which I still think it's important to do that, because there's always new people that you want to work with. I definitely do it more with artists rather than producers, but it's a nice feeling when someone's hitting you up, especially like bigger producers. I wasn't trying to aim for the big producers, but you just kind of have to work your way up, and then you get connected. If you start working closely with one producer and then they connect you with another producer, and it kind of just, it's all about connections and who you know. And I don't really know what I'd suggest to producers now, because even my brother like started making beats. I think he's been doing it for about 2 years, but he even asked me earlier today like the same question: how did you reach out to producers and get your loops to them? And it's hard, because people go by your Instagram, they judge you, like that's the first thing they're going to do. If they do check their DM requests or whatever, they're going to take a look at your Instagram. So you just need to be a bit personal, because that is something that I would, rather than a random like faceless producer. Like, it's cool if you've got placements, whatever, and I don't really care about how many followers you have, for example. I'm gonna look at mutual followers. That's something I'm big on. Like, if I see that you're followed by 100 producers that I know, like, I kind of respect their opinion, and I know if followers are following it, I follow loads of people that I'm like, oh, I don't know who they are. But it makes a difference if you have 100 followers, but all those followers are like mutuals.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
so I'd say building up your Instagram and being personal and posting your beats, because that's the first thing that people are going to check you out.
What do you think that upcoming producers could be doing to make themselves more valuable to bigger producers?
I don't really know what to suggest, which is a better thing to say, because at the end of the day, it just matters. If you've got fire stuff, people are going to like that, and people always want loops. So if you can offer, I'm trying to think, like more than loops, I don't really know, because that is the initial thing. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, hi, how was your day? Like, how's your family?
Yeah.
You know, I used to speak to producers on a lot more of a personal level. I don't really know. That's a great question. But in terms of just what should upcoming producers do, I just think having a brand and like putting a face to your name instead of hiding away is really good. But it's so fine if you don't want to put yourself out there. As I said, for years I just wanted to work on my beats without anyone knowing who I was, because I was terrified. And a lot of us producers are, you know, introverts, and it's just a lot more comfortable being in the comfort of your own home. Just, the music is the main thing. So that is all that matters to get your beats up to like a good standard. But if you really want to do, say, content and push your brand, putting your face out there and just having that recognizable persona basically is what people are going to remember most, and you'll get way more support and like more likely, if you're trying to get followers and actual people wanting to work with you, that's going to help.
Like you said, when people start doing content, then other producers might have already seen you, like bigger producers, and since they've seen your videos, they might be more willing to work with you just off of it.
For sure. Like, I've seen you. When I think of you, I think of the content that you do. Oh, like, you do that funny content on Instagram. I don't know if you do TikTok or other platforms, but like instantly I think that is you. It's good for someone to remember you by a certain thing or by the content that you post. And I just wanted to give you your credit, because a lot of producers are like just doing boring content, or they think, why am I not getting views? And it's not all about views, because these producers have fire beats in their videos, but just turning on a camera, nodding your head, playing a beat is not going to get you anywhere. I think you're being creative with it. I love the whole, like, what you've got going on, the Snapchat text, like, because I'd say making content that it would appeal to anyone. You know, you don't have to know how to make beats to watch and enjoy your content. It's entertaining to, you have to be interested in like music and rap, whatever, but anyone can look at your video and understand it and find it funny. Look, it's got you, like, you've been hit up by artists as well. It's not just like, oh, I do funny videos. It's a bonus because you're also showing off your beats at the same time. It's a win-win, like, because it appeals to producers, it appeals to just random people who don't know about producing, and then you're being hit up by artists saying, you know, send me that beat or whatever. So that's my main thing that I'd say. And like, congrats to you, because you've nailed it, and you're going crazy, and just keep going with that, because again, like, the views are crazy. You never know who you're going to reach, so just keep going.
Appreciate that. Thank you. What does your day-to-day work life look like, and how do you balance that with your personal life?
I'm mostly locked in with beats. I don't know how people would like have a busy, I don't have a busy like friends life, for example, because my friends work 9 to 5, and if I'm going to see them, it's like not that often. To answer the question, I don't know, I've been waking up pretty late recently. I say late, but I'm just a bit lazy. But I
feel it.
I used to make a beat like first thing in the morning. Now making beats is not even the main part of my day. It's mostly just editing. And although I'm making a beat for the video, I sometimes don't feel like I'm cooking up as much. Because I work on like trying to, sometimes I make the beat or want to know what beat I'm making before I film the video. So I might go through like 20 beats to just try and find one that I actually like. But I mostly do like doing it like right there and then on the spot, so it's not too much like scripted or whatever. But to answer your question, it is literally mostly editing. If I've got something to edit, my day will be just editing, cooking up, answering emails. Just, I feel like sometimes I don't know what I do, because my brain is constantly thinking about what is my next move, constantly thinking about producing. And if I'm watching TV, there's no like switch off. So even when I'm on vacation, I'm just constantly thinking like, about everything. So my brain's just clogged up. So I feel like I'm working on stuff mentally, preparing things in my mind, when really I'm like, what have I even done today? People don't realize how much goes into editing and preparing videos sometimes. And I don't even do like high production videos, which I'd love to do because I'm kind of getting sick of the content that I'm doing. But yeah, you know that when making a beat isn't like the main part of your day, that it's like gone past that. It's like a bigger thing now.
Yeah, I feel that so much because like I used to be locked in just making beats. Like I would make 10 beats a day for hella long, and then once I started making content, that just took over. Like now I only make 20 beats a month. If you had to start over from scratch right now, no connections, no anything, just zero, but it's 2025 in today's game, how it is right now, how would you get to where you are?
Posting beats on YouTube again. I do the exact same thing. I know it's a different time than, I feel like I was late even in starting in 2020. If I'm like starting actually making beats, I just work on my beats first for however long, go crazy watching tutorials again. I'd say YouTube is all you need, especially if you don't have anyone to help you. So I'd do the exact same thing. I'd get to like a very comfortable point and then eventually start doing the content show myself. Maybe I'd do the YouTube content a little bit sooner than I did, and maybe I'd keep up making beats as well as doing the content on 2 different channels, but I was sick of making type beats at that point, so that's why I stopped. But I kind of regret stopping, like going cold turkey. I wish I just kept it up a little bit, because that, if you've got that on the go on the side, there's no harm in that, because you're still making beats, so you could just upload beats that, you know, exactly, that aren't really doing anything or whatever. But apart from that, I just social media, that's YouTube type beats. Yeah.
How long do you think a producer should focus on getting good before they start trying to post on social media or start selling their beats?
There's no time limit, because for example, my brother had no music background, nothing, and I think he progressed way faster than I progressed, or like he was making good beats in 6 months. So it's different for everyone. I'd say I was making decent beats after like maybe 2 years. So there's no time frame. You have like these 13-year-old producers that are crazy within a few months. Yeah. So it doesn't matter about your age, the time. Sometimes you're not the best judge of like, okay, my beats are good now. You know, that there isn't really that point. It's just you've got to have other people's opinion. Yeah. But also not get carried away with that, because one person could say, oh, that's such a sick beat. Someone could say, no, that's trash. So who are you going to believe?
Exactly.
So you kind of do know, though. It's a hint when, say, if you're reaching out to artists, you don't get replies, versus, oh yeah, like those beats are fire that you sent me, or yeah, send me beats. I think testing the water with reaching out to artists and seeing what they think, because at the end of the day, artists' opinion is way more important than producers.
What's a mindset shift that helps you level up as a producer?
Make sure that plan A works. Like plan B is to make sure plan A works. Just so locked in. I don't remember the point where I was like, nothing can affect me, like no matter what anyone says, I'm so locked in and determined. So when you get into that state, game over. It doesn't matter, like you're like, nah, nothing, I'm not gonna quit, or I'm just gonna see it through, like enjoying the process and realizing even you could count progress as like, I can now make a full beat, you know, doesn't even have to be good, but you know, say a few months ago, if you started producing and you still are not happy with how they sound, you can now make a full beat. Like you know how to do that now. So you can make a full piece of music. How cool is that? It doesn't matter how good it is, just enjoying the process and realizing that it's not going to take 5 seconds. It's more fun that way, chasing. Well, for me, I love to chase something, or just if it's not easy, I just want it so badly. When you kind of realize this is not easy, I've got to put in the work. That was just my mindset. Like, okay, this is all or nothing.
I feel like that's a big problem that a lot of producers have. They'll like blame everything outside of themselves. You know what I mean? They'll come up with a bunch of excuses on why they can't get to where they want to go, instead of just being like, no, I'm just gonna do it, figure it out.
Exactly. And they quit far too early. All the other producers that have been successful haven't quit. Yeah. So it's literally a game of who can be the most consistent and last the longest. You know, if you stop now, you're never gonna achieve that. So I know some people literally don't have time to focus on it. So it depends what your life is like and what you can focus on. Yeah. But honestly, it's literally just time and consistency and determination.
Literally.
Say an advantage that I have over a producer that's just started, it's literally, I've got 5 years ahead of you. Like in 5 years time, who knows where you'll be? It's not like also don't compare yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's a really, when I stopped comparing myself to other people, or by this time like this person achieved that and I haven't done that. No, it doesn't matter. It's your own pace, your own journey.
What's something that you wish producers like understood more about the industry and how to actually navigate the industry?
That's a really good question. Viewing the producers as like real people rather than just like an Instagram account, or realizing that these producers have worked. It depends who you're talking about, but like say if a bigger producer doesn't want to work with a smaller producer, the smaller producer might think, oh, like they're just being Hollywood, or you have to start from the ground up. And a lot of these older guys, it was a completely different time for them starting producing. So a lot of the older guys hate on like the newer generation of producers because they think we have it a lot easier. So I'd say kind of I'm answering in reverse. I think the older guys should respect that this is not an easy time either to come up, like for the new generation. And yes, social media, it is like easy, and you're not actually having to be in these rooms, because a lot of, back in the day, whenever, I don't know how many years ago, but they had to really grind in a different way of actually networking in person and stuff, and you couldn't just be seen by Drake like by Instagram.
Yeah.
So that I'm answering the reverse of that, but it is like every producer needs to respect that not everyone wants to work with each other, and it's not a case of like being like judgy or being Hollywood. Everyone's in a different stage, and it depends just what you want to do. But yeah, even if you have fire beats or loops, not everyone's going to respect that or care, because there are so many producers out there, and it's hard to be different. That's a really good question though. I'm awful at thinking on the spot.
No,
So
you're good.
You can't just reach out to future Drake, Southside, thinking that they're going to respond or that it's easy to work with them. You have to start from the ground up, and you could strategically work like with people around the circle that is smaller, but really just understanding that it's a long game and you need to work your way up, and you will get there. Don't aim for the top dogs as much as you'd want to.
I think that's it for the questions. You want to get to the cook-up?
Sure.
All right.
Have you heard of the plugin Grid? I put everyone onto this.
Oh no, I've never seen that before. Damn. What does it do?
It's like, I can't remember if it's Haze or HZE. There's like 2 Hazes, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But he does loads of banks and like plugins and stuff. But this is like halftime, but different. So I'm just gonna see what this sounds like.
It's kind of like Gross beat and halftime mixed together.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes sense with that sound, because you'd already put like Port on it, so I think it doesn't even need. I just always chuck it on, see what it sounds like, and then
Yeah, I feel it.
I might add like a little counter melody, like piano or something. I start in FL keys, because I would start in like keyscape, but I don't have keyscape, as I said.
The legendary FL keys.
It's funny how like a lot of people, when say a loop's done, and then the producer that like just puts it down 1 semitone, and like everyone goes, "Whoa, what have you done?" And then they get the credit for like, "Oh my god, you flipped it." Well, that's more like artist reaction, not producers, because producers just know. But I don't know why artists love a key change, because it just sounds safe. You've been having the thing looping around for ages. It sounds too much like just same. So when you change it, it just gives a different vibe. Just gonna see what it sounds like reversed. Sometimes it doesn't need like, I think if it sounds cool, you don't need to try and like change it up. Like people always think they need to do that or render out a million times and like add a million different portal effects and whatever. But
yeah, if it sounds good, it sounds good.
Okay, now I can just hear a brass. I could definitely do better with more time, but I hope this is all right for now. Is that good? I don't know how long you want.
No, yeah, that's good.
It.
Fire. Sounds like some cinematic Star Wars type shit. What's a final piece of advice? Just a word of motivation. Anyone that's watching this video.
It's so cliche. Honestly, keep going and enjoy every second of it. Because I think the start, those first few years, just figuring everything out is so fun. It's not fun when you're in the moment and you're, not seeing any success if that's what you're aiming for, or, it's really hard. Don't get me wrong. It's so worth it. And it's so, just enjoy every second and don't try rush it. And just go crazy. Don't be scared. I mean, it's easier said than done. Honestly, if I can do it, being the most shy person ever, and from my room, you can do it. just go crazy.
All right. Hey, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you doing the video. Everyone, if you guys don't know who Lollipop is, I'm gonna leave all her links in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to her, follow her on Instagram. You got TikTok too?
Yes, just everything's Lollipopbeatz.
All right, bet.
Appreciate you for having me on.
No problem.